Hello, hello. Are we live? Let's hope so. Because this will be a very boring couple of hours if there's no one to talk to. Hi, guys. See if we can hear. I can't hear, but hopefully you guys can hear. Hopefully you're hearing a Scooby Doo theme song. Oh my gosh, how is everybody? Hi, Noah. Oh, Dragon Bean is packaged and ready to be shipped. Oh, thank you. You're the best. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Hey, Jay. Hudson Trim. Oh, I bet he's adorable. There's no way Hudson isn't adorable. Hey, Turner. Hello. Hey, Boots the cat. Hi. Hello, hello. Sorry, this should not still be playing, but there you go. Hey, Allie. Hey, Cameron. Cameron, I finally read the script. That were Junior. Hi, everybody. Good to see you guys. Hey, Ellery. Thank you guys for being here. I always appreciate it. He looks so tiny. I've done the same thing with my dog Ellis because he's huge and he has all this fur and we've trimmed him down and he just looks like, he just looks so much smaller. I always say that he looks like King Trident at the end of the movie where he's all like shriveled up. Also welcome aboard. Yes, welcome aboard, everybody. I did it finally. I finally remembered. I was just like, I finally put it on like a checklist of like, I was like getting a bunch of work stuff done and I was just like, I need to remember to finish the script. I have to finish it. And I did. I did it. Yay. Hang on. I'm trying to figure out why I cannot hear. I've had this problem before. I know how to fix this problem. This is a problem that is fixable. Oh, that's why. Yeah. When I was editing earlier today. Let's do a test. There we go. Now I can hear it. Yeah, Allie's usually here. I just think we haven't. I think every time somebody gets somebody's officially in chat, you get a formal welcome. I'm excited for when I start. I've decided that when I start reading through all these Goosebumps on live, I've decided that you know how like they used to have like the bottle cap collecting thing. I think like I don't know what I want to do. I think I want there to be like a specific like emoji for like each one, and it's like, oh, we can collect all the ones that we're available for. I've been busy preparing Masked Singer clue books for me and my mom. Aww. 8th season. So my mom, I haven't watched Masked Singer in a couple of seasons, but my mom and I also like to watch Masked Singer. It's just so much fun to like watch it and argue with your loved ones about whether or not that oh, who was it? Who was Jesse McCartney a couple seasons back? He was a reptile, the that one, which we all knew, and it was fun to know. Recreate the Goosebumps intro for the streams. Yes, I should. That is such a good idea. So the Scooby Doo thing. Sorry, my hair is all falling down. I can feel it. Hi, Milo. Hey, Sammy. Oh, before we get into Scooby Doo stuff, can I run the my hair is still not up. Oh well. Can I run the thumbnail for the new video by you guys since I was just finishing it when I was about to get on? The turtle. Yes, he was a turtle. That's right. I couldn't think of the word for turtle. Yes. He was one of my favorites. Mostly just because I knew, and I was like, I know that that's Jesse McCartney. It's such a bizarre show, but it's so, like, and you can't tell me that it's not entertaining. It's weird, but it's so entertaining. Sunday stream, forgot how you're ahead of... Oh, I'm sorry. The VOD's still up if you want to. Ever watch it back. Yes, I heard the Phantom of the Opera was closing. I thought of you, Noah. I'm like, I gotta get on those. November is gonna be, like, October is always a great month here on the channel, because, like, it's finally spooky season, so everybody else is, like, on board with us with the spooky stuff, but, like, November is also gonna be great, because I have all this stuff that I really, really want to make, and it's gonna be really cool to do these bigger projects, and they're all gonna fall in November, and I'm excited. Okay, I'm just giving up on the hair. It's not going to be up today. It's fine. This is fine. It is a book. So we are on book 7, I think. Right, guys? Here are the books that we have read so far. This is Scooby Doo and You. Basically, it's like you're supposed to solve the case yourself. It's like, you know, grade school books kind of thing. This was something that I had. I love Halloween too, Milo. Something that I had as a kid, and I found like a complete set for pretty cheap on eBay. And so I was just like, these are going to be stream things because we love Scooby Doo here. One day cover the two in another video. I hope so. I think that would be really fun. Hey, Paul. Still get mail. Someone forgets to put the P.O. box in front of the edge. I think so. I think as long as if it gets to that post box, they're gonna look and see the name and be like, ah, that's that person, and she has a P.O. box here. So I think it'll be fine. If not, it'll get just probably sent back to you. Hey, Arrow404. How am I today? I'm doing good today. I got some editing done today for my own video, and then I got some freelance editing done, and I just had a kind of chill but still productive day. It started out bad because I'm trying the hair again. I just feel it on my neck. It started out chaotic because it was one of those days where I like slept through my alarm and was late for a doctor's appointment. But after that, got sorted out, I was fine. The day was good. All right, that might be as good as we get right now. Nobody look at my hair too closely. Not too sad about anything closing on Broadway. I could never afford to go there anyway. Yeah, I've never been. I was in a rush in the setup. Worst case, I have to send it again. Hopefully they'll just, because I have to imagine if it gets to the address, which is the post office, they'll just see my name on it and probably just be like, ah, yeah, that box. I'm sure that's what'll happen. Bad here, but it's so fucking hot. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's still hot here and muggy, but it's like not quite as bad as like summer, so it's like the edge is kind of off, so I don't know. I don't know that it's not hot. I think we're just all broken here. Reviews of DComs. Yes, I have more DComs in the works, and there's a lot of fun DComs, especially for Halloween. Halloween was just when DComs really like popped off every year, so I'm excited. Equal to Jonathan Taylor Thomas Pinocchio. I know this actually because when I covered the first one, a couple people sent me the link to the second one. It was like, are you going to do the sequel? And I was like, there's a sequel? Free me from this nightmare. But yes, that's also something that I need to do. Quite the thunderstorm last night. I love thunderstorms, but if it's like, as long as it's like nobody's like, no trees are being taken out, nobody's like being endangered. Passport, then plane ticket, then hotel. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm in the country but I'm just on like the opposite part of I'm on the wrong corner of the country for Broadway, but yeah. My Broadway experience. I'm turning the light on because it always gives me grief. My experience is watching slime tutorials. That's my big Broadway experience. Not a D&D update because the schedule got moved around for wow, that was my hand. Oh my god, so sorry. Playing a character, wise a lot, is keeping a journal of the character's air voice. Very helpful. Ooh, that sounds like so much fun. I've never kept a journal for any of my D&D characters, but now I want to, because I'm like, that's so smart. Have your bowl of Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, it's been a thing the past couple of days. I always forget how chewy they are until I eat another one. Focus releases in 10 days. Yes, I'm so excited. I'm working through posting a few videos that I batch recorded the other night. And then Hocus Pocus will probably be the next one that I film, and I'm really excited for that. Ooh, how fun. I have 3 Goosebump episode suggestions. Yay! What You Wish For, Calling All Creeps, and Click. Be Careful What You Wish For and Calling All Creeps are 2 that I pretty vividly remember. I don't remember Click super well, but I've seen other people talk about it. Hi, Patrick! Yeah, tomorrow, Patrick, I think I'm gonna do my first pickup at the PO box ever, and it's like such a momentous occasion for me. Patrick was nice enough to send me a couple of things. But these are the 6 books that we have done so far. Case of the Terrifying Pterodactyl, Case of the Wrestler's Ghost, Case of the Doughy Creature, Case of the Wandering Witch, Case of the Batty Vampire, and Case of the Angry Alligator. And Case of the Angry Alligator I have beef with because it was one of those, it was like this, but unlike this one where I was like, I didn't second guess myself, but this one I was like, nah, I think it's just the really obvious person that's guilty because this is a children's book. On this one, I second guessed myself. And for the first time ever, I technically guessed wrong, and I was very upset about it because I'm like, no, it's for children. Shouldn't be guessing wrong on any of these. But, you know. Oh my gosh. No, don't knock. I'm trying not to knock Bob Ross over while I put the books back. This is the one that we are reading tonight, guys. We are on to our 7th book. I have no idea what order these all go in. I don't know what number this is in series, but for us, this is book 7. Like tropical flavored stuff. Flavors, pineapple, coconut, mango, passion fruit. Don't like any of those. These are just the regular ones. I've had the tropical ones, but it has been quite a while. These are just like the regular, like blue raspberry, lemon, orange. What are the? I always forget what the red ones are supposed to be, but they're so good. And lime. Puzzle and Lego video games. If you can't figure one out, you're thinking about it way too hard. Yeah, because it's one of those things where, like, when stuff's made for kids, I think when we as adults go back and watch it, we're like thinking about it in this like adult brain of like, oh, they're gonna try to psych us out because we're gonna be thinking this and this and this, and it's like, no, sometimes it's just really obvious because this was made for 10-year-olds, you know? Seen the soap opera Passions? No, I feel like I've seen commercials for the soap opera Passions. My mom, when I was a kid, was really big into Bold and the Beautiful and Guiding Light, so those are the ones that I have the most experience with. Pinocchio movie with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, but I have read the picture storybook when I was 11. Oh, I didn't realize there was a picture storybook. Set up the poll on who goes. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to set up the poll for who keeps the Clue Keeper. What have we had so far? It's been Velma twice, Fred once, and Daphne 3 times, right? I think. So yeah, we'll set up that poll. Looking for some movies of Goodwill. And oh, thank you. It's super popular. Yeah, I hope one day you can find some for your own personal collection, Scooby Doo and Goosebumps, Paul, because they're really good. Like when I got these, so when I bought these, nobody else in my life could remember. Not even like my mom. I was like, Mom, remember how I read all these? And she was like, No, I don't remember those at all. And I was like, how am I the only one that remembers these? And so I was like, when I found this set, I didn't realize at the time that it was a complete set. I was just like, oh, 24 books. That's like really good. And somebody was selling them for pretty cheap. And I was just like, it felt like such a silly purchase, but now I'm just so grateful that I didn't talk myself out of it, because since then I have kind of scoped out and I have not been able to see anybody else with a complete set. I've barely even been able to find any with like half the set. Kind of make me laugh. Oh, soap operas are hilarious. Yeah, they have like, they film something like, they film something soap operas. It's like something like 70 or 80 pages in a day. And to put that in perspective, like when I've worked on, you know, regular primetime shows and stuff, like if you film like 4 or 5 pages in a day, everybody's like, damn, we got a lot to do today, guys. We got 4 whole pages. And I'm just like, I can't even imagine. That's got to be a really, really, really tough job. But it's also something that you pretty much have pretty solid work for the people who are in it, which is not a common thing in this industry. So, but yeah, I have a lot of respect for the people who make soap operas, but soap operas themselves, yeah, they're very funny. I didn't ask the question. That's probably important. Who's keeping the Clue Keeper? And while you guys are guessing, since we're gonna find out on like page 2, I'm gonna show you guys the thumbnail that I have for the video I'm about to post, probably as soon as I go get off of live, so that will be fun. community. Spacebar on your phone, it'll reveal the trick. I feel like that's a joke, but I'm not sure. I'm so bad with technology. Passions was an NBC soap opera that had a witch. Ooh, yeah. I have heard about that one. Velma. I think I don't realize I lived next to her because they were off being a soap opera. Yeah, there's a lot going on when you live in soap opera world. I think every single time we voted for Velma, I don't know if that's just because we have nothing to go off of. I think we're just all hoping that it's Velma because Velma must keep the best clue keeper. I want it to be Shaggy because he didn't get a turn yet. Yeah, I want it to be Shaggy too. I have a sneaking suspicion that Shaggy is banned from keeping the clue keeper for reasons that are probably fair. Still consider my mom and aunt's decision to get me hooked on Days of Our Lives at age 12. Yeah, I mean, I was younger than that when I was watching Bold and the Beautiful with my mom. Apparently, when I was a little baby and I was like in my little high chair and I would hear the Bold and the Beautiful music, I would like get really excited. And then like when I was like, I don't know, 8, I went through a phase where I was like, Mom, it's time to watch Bold and the Beautiful, which is so funny thinking back on it. Oh yeah, we're thinking. My guess is gonna be costume villain. The only thing that could top "Hey, pterodactyls are canon in this universe" is "Hey, Bigfoot is canon in this universe." I don't think they would do that. Send my mom a senior clue book. Make design predictions. Oh, that's so cute that you do that. I love that. Shaggy held the clue keeper, he rolled it into a blunt. So yeah, he just, I feel like there's a story behind why he doesn't get to have the clue keeper, and it's just hilarious all by itself. Maybe that's the first, maybe if we ever do that thing where after we finish reading all of these, we do streams where we make up our own Scooby Doo and You books. Maybe that's the first one we write, is the story of Shaggy losing clue keeper privileges. I mean, to be fair to the others, Fred does set some pretty good traps, and Velma does find a lot of clues. Velma's just the one that's able to put them together the best, to be fair. Or at least modern day. Modern day Velma gets to be helpful. Come on. There we go. I have to switch over to my... I know we'll get to the book in just a second. I just wanted to show you guys this because it's pretty... I think it's pretty neat. I hope. I also just would like to know if anybody would actually click on this. Let's see if it's actually gonna... that's full cam. I don't want full cam. I want this. I want that one. There we go. So here's the thumbnail we're working with. In case anybody's wondering, it's Around the Twist episode. Hopefully it's terrifying. Just kidding. We're going to collaboratively write Scooby-Doo fanfic on stream. I mean, maybe. Family-friendly, on-brand fanfic. Bigfoot is the actual real-life pterodactyl just vibing in a random forest. Maybe. It's a callback. They're like, hey gang, remember when we let that pterodactyl loose by accident? Case of the missing clue keeper, yeah. Hey, Laser! Sweet merciful cry. Yeah, so this video, I'm very excited for everybody to see this video. I have not seen that yet. I will have to check it out. Is it Frank? You're still voicing Fred to this day. I know! He's great! He's an icon. I feel like we don't talk enough about how great that is, how great he is. This needs to be in quotes, because this is literally what the doll says, and I feel like that's leaves you with more questions. So this is the thumbnail we're working with, guys. Webcomic about characters such as Scooby and Shaggy. Oh, that's interesting. I need to look that up now. If the goal of the thumbnail is to instill abject terror, you've succeeded. Good! I'm glad. You know? No, I'm just kidding. But... Test cam. I'll take it down now. I'll take it down. Around the twist episode, Noel, where the birds were flying around, destroying the scarecrow. Yep. Have you seen? We did a video on Noel a while ago now, but yeah, that was a pretty terrifying episode. This one is also terrifying. Basically, every episode of Round the Twist I've ever seen is terrifying. You really said Halloween is coming up. Let's give my audience nightmares for a week with that thumbnail. Sorry, I just blur it. I'm just like, I just have to censor the the doll faces. Oh no, God, sorry. I didn't mean to jump scare anybody. You look passions. Thank you. Scooby Doo is not usually known for continuity. No, they're not. They're really not. Subplot is playing around the twist season 3 episode 1. Yes, I think I make mention somewhere in the video that because I picked this one just because I randomly found it and I was like, oh, doll, that's terrifying, I want to talk about it. And then I was like, because they were talking about the Viking Book of Love, and so I'm like, oh, I need to go back and watch that episode next. So that's the next Round the Twist we're gonna do. Okay, well, I need to make it past this Round the Twist episode. I mean, it's not even, well, I was about to say it's not the scariest doll we've seen, but that's not entirely true. It's bizarre. It's classic Round the Twist. I had a lot of fun doing it, but I also got genuinely jump scared. No, Cameron. I just need people. Oh my god. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way, because I think there's a way that I can. And if I can't figure it out in a second, I can't figure it out. I'm just gonna go to reading because that's what we're all here for. But I was gonna say there's a way that I can, in theory, set up the stream to dump everybody into the video as soon as the stream is over. But I don't know how to do that, so we're not doing that yet. Doesn't need to be scary to be a trip. Oh, it's definitely a trip. Plans for Halloween, and I'm gonna say, well, I wanted to make plans, and then I saw this terrifying thumbnail. Oh my god. Do I need to change the thumbnail? Is everybody gonna protest? Do a video on passions. See. I think the de facto main character Teresa is. I'll have to look into it now. I'm excited. I think almost she was. No. Everybody's like, no. Definitely. Rushing into our homes. No. If you guys would believe it, that's the toned down version of the thumbnail. There's another screenshot that I have of the main doll with glowing red eyes, and it's like this close up, and she's got like this angry face, and I was like, I can't use that. I can't put that on the cover. Which restaurant are we going to? Yeah, which restaurant do we think? Peanut butter one is my literal nightmare since I have peanut allergies. Yeah, that one sounds pretty bad. Look, it's just, I just do with what the thing I'm covering gives me, and Round the Twist is giving me nothing but terror, so that's what we're working with. I've once again managed to make a horrific fictional villain into my favorite character in my current... Yay! And I don't want to unpack that. I mean, villains are just so much fun, or morally gray characters. They're so interesting. Oh, you want to see the... Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to see the, sorry, doll jump scare in a second. Let's go small cam. And then we'll go... Where is it? It's not that. There it is. That's the one. This is the one that I very nearly put on the cover and was just like, I can't do that. That's horrifying. I'm gonna jump scare myself just logging into my own account. I remember the angry doll with the red eyes and around the twist. And it's pretty scary. Yeah, speaking of creepy dolls, Monster High is coming back with the new design for the original characters. I really need to watch Monster High. I've never actually seen it. I feel like I would like it, though. Seems like a good time. Funny thing... Oh, that's funny. What in the 10 hells is that? That would be Veronique, the doll. On the twist is extremely weird. 90s Australian kids. I mean, American 90s kids were fucked up too. We had We had Are You Afraid of the Dark, which we've already talked about, is terrifying. Yes, this doll is like Talking Tina, but on crack. Wait, so which... Okay, sorry, I swear I'm getting to the book. Everybody's like, well, please just start reading the book. We don't care. Thank you for 19 concurrent viewers. I love that we have people that actually love this, talking about these books. It's so fun. Ren and Stimpy was messed up. Oh, Ren and Stimpy was very messed up. They're less scary than the Willy Wonka. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Gone for 20 minutes and I can't. Oh no! I hope he's okay. Oh, that's so scary. Oh no. These short stories by Paul Dinkins. Just heads up. Yeah, I think we've talked about this before, because the first 2 seasons were kind of based off the stories, sort of like Goosebumps was, kind of. If you want an American equivalent. Case of the Bigfoot. I feel like we didn't need the words Bigfoot and Beast. We could have just called it Bigfoot. Or just the beast of something, but they wanted 2 B's, and so that's what we get, you know? Didn't get me to miss these streams. Thank you, Ellery. Anything short of D&D session. I know, I feel bad when we're streaming on D&D night, because I'm like, no, Ellery is not here. Really good. Yeah, Mindy was great. You've cursed us. I'm so sorry. They could have said Beastly Bigfoot. Yeah, I feel like they just wanted to say Bigfoot, and then they went, I don't know, Beast? Just give it another B word. Beastly Bigfoot does roll off. Bigfoot Beast just feels, yeah, it doesn't flow as well. Thank you for dropping in, Patrick. We will remember you once you have left. Liftoff is more terrifying. Easy from Liftoff. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. All right. So let's get into this. Beyond Belief, binge again. Yes. The more I watch it, the more season 2, episode 11 has become a favorite. Season 2, episode 4 is still great. I remembered that you requested that. Which one is the one with the wrestler? Oh, 211. I remember that you requested it as soon as I finished recording the other episode. And I'm glad that we covered the episode that we did, but I was like, I need to cover that other one too. I need to cover all of them, but you know. I want to have Nightmare Fuel. Oh, I was reading it and then I lost it. Bigfoot is the lamest name for a mythical creature. Yeah. What's new in Mystery Incorporated? I feel Mindy is Velma, like how Frank is Fred. Yeah. It'll be a real Bigfoot. If it's a real Bigfoot, I'm gonna lose my mind. Nightmare Fuel for an unnecessary reason. Check out the 23rd episode of... I've never seen any episodes of that, but I feel... Excuse me. Hiccups. I feel like it's gonna be terrifying. Episode 4 is the wrestler. Copy. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, the Round the Twist theme song is great. Okay, so for anybody who's wondering, we're at Dinah's Diner. I felt like we've been at Dinah's before. Am I going crazy? I feel like Dinah's Diner sounds very familiar. Glad you could make it, Daphne calls you as you walk into the diner. Servers carry plates of food to the booths in the busy place. Daphne, Fred, Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby Doo are seated by the window. You join them. Just checking the writer on this one. Velma slides over and makes room for you. Velma slides, but she's not on the end. Wouldn't Shaggy or Daphne want to move to make room for us? Isn't that how that would work? I don't know. You sit down across from you in the booth. You sit down across the table. Wait. Sit down across... Am I pulling up a... I'm so confused at the seating arrangement. Anyway, continuing. Across the table... Oh, across the table from us. So we're sitting here. We're across the table from Shaggy. I just didn't read it all the way through. I do remember. Wait, no, I don't remember that because I didn't see that far in Mystery Incorporated. Maybe I saw somebody else talking about that because that sounds familiar, but I know I haven't seen that episode. The table, Shaggy and Scooby are steadily munching on a foot-high stack of pancakes. That is a lot of pancakes. Like, this is so much yummier than the back-to-nature food we've been eating at the campground, Shaggy says. Nothing but nuts and berries, right, Scoob? They always start the story like they're starting an improv sketch. Scooby slurps up the pancakes in one bite. He nods his head. Ruts and raries. I just love ruck, because he's saying yuck, but I'm just imagining Scooby saying fuck. Sorry. Scooby makes a face. We went on a camping trip, Fred explains. There's nothing like a little fresh air to clear your mind after solving a mystery. Of course, we found another mystery at the campground, Velma says. We just can't seem to escape them. We didn't just find a mystery, we found a monster, too, Shaggy says, shivering. Man, that thing was big and hairy. Velma looks at you. We sure could have used your help. Then call me one time, guys. Just call me preemptively. We know that in this universe, we're the friend that's also a crime-fighting detective. You like solving mysteries, don't you? Daphne asks. We called this mystery the case of the Bigfoot beast. I like the idea that they name all their cases themselves. She says, why don't you read our clue keeper, she asks as she hands you a colorful notebook. You can try and figure out the mystery as you read. I was the writer for the mysteries entries. Again, 4 in a row! We have 4. That's 4 in a row. Daphne has kept 4 clue keepers in a row. It went Velma, Fred, Velma, and then Daphne the past 3 times, and now Daphne again. Good for Daphne. She's really carrying this right now. We write down the details of the mystery in the journal, Fred says. The people we meet, the clues we find, they're all in there. We've even made them easy to find, Daphne continues. When you see these spooky eyes, here are the spooky eyes, it means we found a suspect, and a flashlight, here's the flashlight, means we found a clue. At the end of each entry, we'll help you organize the information you found, Velma added. All you need is a pen or pencil and your own clue keeper notebook. You take the clue keeper a little nervous. Are you really as clever at solving mysteries as the Scooby Gang? Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe not Velma, but, like, some of them. Fred smiles at you. Don't worry, I bet you'll crack the case in no time. You can't tell me that we'd be less helpful than Scooby and Shaggy, bless them. Like Daphne, but the so much of her characterization and newer stuff to like being in love with Fred. Yeah, I love Daphne. The early 2000s Daphne is my favorite Daphne era because she's like a reporter and she's like doing her thing and she's independent. We could have used your help. Are we more in demand than Mystery Inc? I think so. I think we're just so busy. It's like, oh, we were helping Nancy Drew last week. We were too busy to help them. I'm trying to figure out where I left off in chat. Nerd streams in preview. Oh. What stories in that episode had to do with Friday the 13th? Oh, no, that's cool. I vaguely remember a Friday the 13th episode. I'll definitely make sure we do that one next. Those are always so popular. I'm just like, I just need to do them more often. Every time I'm like, it's too early to do another round Beyond Belief. I'm like, no, I think everybody would watch it. Most people, anyway. So we're a character in the book. Yeah, so this is basically like self-insert Scooby Doo fan fiction is what these books were. Because we walk in and the Mystery Inc. gang is like, hey, friend who also solves mysteries, here's our clue keeper. See if you could have helped us. As we're like hanging out and eating pancakes, I guess. Velma scoots over from the middle. So we crawl under the table and then just sit down next to her. I like to imagine that this is exactly what we did. They'll be too busy. They'll be too busy secretly flirting to move for us. Technically. Funny, the Hex Girls were there to ska band. I love the Hex Girls. Scooby and munching it. Always with the munchies. Getting and didn't realize we're a character. Oh, yeah. Probably the you part. Yeah. It's kind of funny because not many books. It's sort of like a cross between it's like a choose your own adventure, but you don't have as much autonomy, you know? Favorite. Kiss me, Belma. If we do a fanfic stream, we should make a canon version of the self-insert character. Yes, we should. We absolutely should. Special to watch. This makes the heart grow or something. Yeah. I love Beyond Belief. I'm so glad that other people like Beyond Belief, because I'd be sad if I just wasn't talking about all of them. There's so many good ones. All right. What if the you is Nancy Drew? I like this. I like this a lot. I've never heard of Beyond Belief. Beyond Belief was something that, like, I watched very little with, like, I watched as a very little kid with my parents. And it was always so scary. When you're, like, 6, it's the scariest thing alive. The first one, the comic book character one, that genuinely, like, startled me this time. I was like, I'm a full-grown person. Well, yeah, the Hex Girls are great. I wouldn't trust anybody who doesn't like the Hex Girls. My friend's house, really into it and guess which story was real. Oh yeah. I loved trying to guess. I still do, because it's just, like, so impossible sometimes. I vividly remember that episode where the couple's wedding rings got fused together. Yes! I think about that all the time. Yes! That was a Beyond Belief. Sorry I couldn't in my latest case. I was solving 10 mysteries last week by myself. Yeah. And then the Mystery Inc. gang is like, so your whole boyfriend situation, what's that about? Never mind 6. Saw a couple of Nancy Drew books. What do you do on them? I do on quite a few Nancy Drew books. Organize them, because I don't have a complete set, but I do have a lot, so I need to, like, organize them, and, like, I usually, like, keep a picture, so if I'm in a Goodwill, I can remember which ones I need. Looks so different in Mystery Incorporated. I just think they're great in every iteration. Okay, sorry, I'm getting back to the book. Clue Keeper Entry 1. Like, are we there yet, Daphne? Shaggy asked, huffing and puffing. Is Daphne driving? Is that what we're asking Daphne? He had a duffel bag on his back. Oh, we're walking. We're out of the car and we're walking. Okay, I see. Almost, I think, I answered. Fred had parked the mystery machine in the parking lot of the Happy Camper campground. Then the gang and I had all grabbed our sleeping bags and backpacks and started hiking up the hill to the campground entrance. I think that's the office up there, Fred said. He pointed to a small log cabin at the top of the hill. Suspect list real early. This might be a record. A man with a white beard stood in front of the cabin. He was talking to a tall, bald man wearing a suit. You're making a big mistake, Walden, said the bald... Wait, who's on the suspect list? There's 2 people. There's 2 people. You're making a big mistake, Walden, said the bald man. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. He stormed off down the other side of the hill. The bearded man shook his fist. I'll never sell, he cried. Never! Never! He sure looks like one unhappy camper to me, Shaggy remarked. I still don't have that to sound. The man with the white beard noticed us. He smiled and held out his hand. Hello, campers, he said. I'm Henry Walden. Welcome to the Happy Camper Campground. Is everything okay, Mr. Walden? Velma asked. Walden's smile faded. Oh, you mean my argument with Rick Richardson? Rick Richardson. He said he's the owner of the resort down the hill. For years, he's been trying to buy the campground from me so he can expand, but I love this place too much. Yeah, fuck capitalism. I can see why, said Fred, looking at the surroundings. Where can we pitch our tents? Walden stroked his beard. We've got lots of campsites open, he said. Follow me. Walden's head laid down... Wait, that wasn't the sentence. Walden headed down a path lined with tall trees. As we walked further into the woods, the sun disappeared behind the leafy branches. I can see the way that this was bent. These woods are beautiful, I said, but Shaggy and Scooby didn't agree. There's something creepy about this campground, Shaggy said. Mr. Walden stopped. Why do you say that? He asked nervously. Shaggy held out his arm. Like, I've got goosebumps on my goosebumps, he said. Everyone knows that woods are filled with spooks and ghouls and stuff. I hope you're wrong about that, Mr. Walden said, as he continued down the path. The path led to a clearing. I'll help you set up camp here, he said. He does kind of look like Lumberjack Santa, doesn't he? That's the vibe I'm getting. It's a nice spot. It's near all the major trails. He pointed to the 3 different trails leading into the woods. Into the woods, it's time to go. I know. Sorry. Velma and I set up a small tent. Mr. Walden helped Fred set up another one. I was about to say, why is Fred not helping? Help, Fred. Shaggy and Scooby, you can sleep in here with me, Fred told them. Scooby crawled into the tent and poked out his head. Oh, we've talked about this a couple videos ago. You know, boys and girls cannot, you know, chill together in the Scoobyverse. God forbid. Scooby crawled into the tent and poked his head out. Hey, Scoob, Shaggy said. Now it's a pup tent. Get it? You can unroll your sleeping bags now, guys, Fred said. Shaggy and Scooby looked at each other. Reaping rags? Scooby asked. You mean you didn't bring any? Velma asked. What's in that heavy bag? Important camping supplies, Shaggy said. He opened his duffel bag. A tower of food spilled onto the grass. Giant hero sandwiches, coconut cream pies, fried chicken, donuts, bagels, corn on the cob. Jeez. All that shelf stable in that bag? Shaggy turned to Velma and me. This is all Scoob and I need to survive in the great outdoors. As long as our stomachs are happy, we'll be happy, right, Scoob? Scoob! Shaggy turned back to Scooby Doo. Shaggy turned back. Scooby Doo was standing in front of the bag, which was now empty. He licked his lips with great satisfaction. Shaggy grabbed the bag and shook out the crumbs. Like, this is terrible. We'll starve in these woods without food. We've got to leave right now. Please stay, said Mr. Walden. You're my only campers this weekend. I was wondering about that, Velma said. Why is the campground empty? It's the height of the camping season. And why did you get so jumpy when Shaggy said the campground was creepy? Why do you think, Velma? We've been here before. We've done this before. Mr. Walden looked at his boots. Then he looked back at Velma. I can't lie to you kids. Campers have been scared away from this place because of a story. A silly story. What story? I asked. Mr. Walden sighed. People say the Bigfoot beast is stalking the campground. Rigfoot Reese? Scooby jumped in Shaggy's arms. I've never seen it myself, Mr. Walden said. I assure you, the campground is safe, and I'm right down the road if you need me. Don't worry, Mr. Waldron, Fred said. We've faced our share of monsters before. We'll be all right. No, I never would have guessed, Fred. Just like 1 or 2 monsters, you know? Mr. Walden nodded and headed back down the trail. I'm sure there's nothing to be worried about, I said. We're going to have a great weekend, right, guys? Shaggy and Scooby didn't answer. They were hiding in Fred's tent. Like, we'll have a good time as long as the Bigfoot beast stays far away, Shaggy replied. Poor boys. Fred and Daphne's mystery solving tips. They're so busy canoodling that they're giving us tips as one whole unit, apparently. Did you catch the suspect eyes on page 5? Fred and I thought you would. That means you found the first suspect. Answer the questions about this suspect in your clue keeper notebook. I imagine Daphne's just, like, talking over Fred. Fred's just like, can I give a clue, too? Cream pies don't seem like a backpack food. Yeah, I agree. I think that's fair. All rooted for Ned and Joe, then Midnight in Salem came and ruined it all. I know. We still have Francie, though. We'll always have Francie. For the tropes, I'm praying the villain says the line. Oh, yeah. Like their redesigns. Did go back to the original designs for their appearance. Oh, the Hex Girls. Yeah. Do you have any Nancy Drew Clue Crew books? Do I have any Nancy Drew Clue? I don't think I have Clue Crew. I have a couple of case file books, which I need to dig out, actually. That's a good point. The ones from the 80s. One of them is, I think I have Secrets Can Kill. Maybe it's not one of the ones I have, but I do have like 4 or 5 of the ones from the 80s, the case files ones. I don't know if I have Clue Crew. I have a lot of the original ones, like the OG ones. That's what I have most of. Which we can always do more streams of those, too. School, yes. Rock the world. Yeah, exactly. Like, if they wanted to make Scooby swear, they could totally get away with it, because he doesn't pronounce anything the way that it actually is pronounced. More unpredictable than the shows. Yeah, for sure. So Rick Richardson, which I believe is, his name is Richard Richardson, right? I will have to Lumberjack Santa. Wait, I lost it. Lumberjack Santa. Yes, sounds like a Christmas song. For sure. Somebody write Lumberjack Santa. Seen that episode of What's in Scooby Doo at home, and it turns out Shaggy and Fred live together, and Daphne and Velma also live together, which seems that's funny. I have not seen that one. The Woods movie with James Corden. I want to talk about the because I found we at least have a pretty good a couple really good recordings of the stage play for that one. So I want to kind of cover the stage play and then maybe cover the movie, maybe back to back. Fred takes his team members for granted. I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel sometimes like poor Fred is just like along for the ride and everybody's just like letting him hang out because he has a car. Sometimes I feel bad for Fred. Can't even with Shaggy's food supplies. It's a lot. Typical Shaggy and Scooby food instead of camping. Yep, always. Here's your one chance, Francie. Don't let me down. Don't let me down anymore, guys. Rascal. Yeah. They could totally get Scooby to swear. No sweat. They could get it past the censors. True, he could be Ricardo Richardson. We don't know that Rick is short for Richard. I still have to wait to take a call. What if I missed? So we met one bad guy. Well, we haven't even met him. We just overheard him yelling at the one guy that's like innocent by I don't know, just by default, because somebody has to be trusted to tell us what's going on. And his motivation would be capitalism. He wants to buy all the land from this guy so that he can expand his resort. Female. I don't remember this. It took so much of the humor and fun out of the movie version. Yeah, that was my main complaint with it, too. So the usual, yes. I hate it. It's always capitalism. Oh, always. And we kind of appreciate that, you know? Taught us from a real early age not to trust businessmen, I guess. Or at least the ones that are doing shady business. What's the suspect name? What kind of work does he do? Why might he want to keep people away from campground? All right. So suspect 1. Suspect 1 is Rick Richardson. Does anybody remember the Richie Rich? Like, I grew up watching just the original 70s, 80s cartoon on Boomerang, but also the 90s movie with Macaulay Culkin. I think about that. It's a distant memory, but I do think about it sometimes. Motion when I saw it. I still need to watch that. His job is he is a resort owner, I guess. And his potential motive is capitalism. I could just stop it there, but capitalism, i.e., wants the land cheap, which he can get if the guy has to sell because nobody's camping there. Meddling kids, it'll be more satisfied. Yeah, they haven't said meddling kids every single time. I wonder why. Yeah, where he has a McDonald's at his house. Yes. Yes. Robot Chicken's parody of Richie Rich. I haven't seen much Robot Chicken. That's funny, though. Who's there? All right. Let's go on to part Clue Keeper entry 2. Wonder if we actually get to meet this suspect. It didn't take long for us to set up camp. Velma took a pair of binoculars out of her pack. I bet this is a great place for bird watching, she said. Anybody want to come along? Sounds like fun, I said. I think I'll work on getting us some dinner, Fred said. Dinner? Scooby licked his lips. I think Scooby and I will stay with Fred, Shaggy said hungrily. Velma nodded. We'll be back soon. Velma and I followed a trail. We marched along through the tall, dark trees. Soon the trees began to thin out, and we found ourselves in a clearing on top of the hill. Flat, gray rocks stretched out before us. We walked onto one of the rocks and looked down at the scene below. Gosh, I said, this sure is a nice view. Get off of there right now, a voice cried. We both spun around. A tall woman wearing jeans and a blue shirt was glaring at us. She wore a cap on her short red hair. She carried a pack on her back. Those are, oh boy, Archaeotherium tracks you're stepping on, the woman said angrily. Velma and I looked down. Under my feet, I could see what looked like hoof prints cut into the rock. We're sorry, Velma said, jumping off the rock. The Archaeotherium. All right, that's going to be our new drinking game, because I just can't say it. Well, gang, looks like we got another mystery on our hands. The Archaeotherium is a prehistoric animal, right? You must be a paleontologist, a scientist who studies fossils. Thank you, Velma. Thank you for the clarification. That's right, said the woman. I'm Mindy Podwick. What a fun name. Then she eyed Velma suspiciously. I mean, they can't mess up the tracks if it's, like, etched into stone, right? It's basically a fossil. You seem to know something about paleontology. Are you here to steal my discovery? Because I found it first. Of course not, I replied. We're here on a camping trip. We're just out bird watching, Velma added. We didn't mean to disturb you. Mr. Walden didn't mention anything about a fossil discovery. Mindy Podwick's face clouded. How many times do I have to tell Walden to keep people away from here? It's going to take me weeks to fully uncover these tracks. I'll never get my job done if heavy-footed tourists keep trampling the site. Hey, they said sorry. They look so confused and upset, too. Velma and I exchanged glances. Here are the glances. We'll go bird watching somewhere else, Velma said. Nice to meet you. It wasn't, though. It really wasn't. Mindy didn't reply. She was busy brushing dust away from the fossil prints. That was a little strange, I said as we walked away. You can say that again, Velma agreed. Don't say it again. Don't. Oh my god, I can't get the page turned. Why can't I get the page turned? We all be... Oh, that's the end of the chapter. Imagine we all be if, like, there's just, like, the ending missing from one of these. Can you imagine? Be Bond. Yeah, right? Yeah. Give us some rocking sausages, Red. Getting myself tea instead of sangria. I've learned my lesson from the pterodactyl. Yeah, that's probably best. Don't blame them. People are nasty. Yeah. Hey, did you spy the suspect eyes back on page 13? You found another suspect. Yay, me. Said like London Tipton. Answer the questions in your Clue Keeper notebook. And the funny thing is, they sold Clue Keeper notebooks to accompany this series when they were making this series, but they didn't make it look anything like the books that they hand you, like the Clue Keeper that they hand you. It's just like, it just is a soft cover book like this, but it says Clue Keeper. Oh, excuse me. It's too early for me to be tired. I can't be tired yet. So yeah, I wonder why they didn't just make it look like the canon one. Suspect number 2, yes. What is the suspect's name? Answer these questions in your Clue Keeper notebook. What is the suspect's name? What kind of work does she do? Why might she want to keep people away from the campground? All right. So, suspect 2. Suspect 1. Need to make sure my notes are somewhat readable. Suspect 2. Suspect 2, her name is Mindy Podwick, right? Even I can't forget that name. Podwick. She is a paleontologist. Not me having to double check because I'm second guessing myself on how to spell paleontologist. Jesus. Yeah, I was right. Paleontologist. Drink your coffee. I have Coke. It's actually Coke. I know that here in the South we call all soda Coke, but it really is Coca-Cola. Motive could... So the motive for Mindy could possibly be wanting to keep people away from the dig site. Anything's possible. Yep. Can't be revenge this time. Nope, always capitalism. Knock, knock, who's there? Everyone registered to vote today if you haven't already. Yes, I hope everyone registered to vote. I meant to post something about that, but yeah. Voting is good. Vote. Coke too. Yeah. Yeah. I swear I eat pretty healthy throughout the day and then get to the night and I'm just like, all the sugar. Mint I always forget about mint flavored tea. Wait, what's happening? How do your stream's current bit rate is lower than... Okay. Recommended that you It's giving me... Is everybody hearing me okay? The stream seems to think that you guys are not hearing me super well. All right, me who... I'm afraid to know where this is going. You're fine. Okay, cool. Cool. Sometimes I get that pop-up and I just kind of ignore it, which I shouldn't probably, but it usually doesn't amount to anything, so I'm like... Night Munchie's always a nightmare. Oh. I just saw Cameron's message. Oh my god. Okay, everybody can hear me. That's good. I'm always like, we've had so many tech issues with the streams, and I'm just like, who's to say what's next? I don't know. All right. So let's keep going. Clue Keeper entry number 3. I think it's one of those jokes where it's like, I think I get it. I think so. Back at the campsite, Clue Keeper entry 3. Back at the campsite, Shaggy and Scooby Doo each held a fork and knife. So Freddy, Shaggy said, like, where's that dinner you were talking about? Rinner, Scooby echoed. I haven't caught it yet, Fred replied. Shaggy and Scooby looked at one another, confused. Fred dug in his pack and took out a pocket fishing pole and a small tackle box. One of the reasons we chose this campground is that there's a stream here. The stream here perfect for fishing, Fred said. If I'm lucky, I can catch us some fish for supper. Fresh fish, Shaggy asked. Like, do you think there are any pizzas swimming around in that stream? Scooby rubbed his tummy. Rita, the one time that they're picky for food. I'm pretty sure there are only fish, Fred said. Do you want to come? Unless you're fishing in Animal Crossing and then you get like a weird amount of tires and boots, because apparently nobody cares about, environmentalism, I guess. Not in my town, anyway. There's so many. I lost my place. Where was I? Sorry, guys. Fishing's just not my bag, Shaggy said. I'd rather get my food from a snack machine. Fine with me, Fred said, but I don't think you'll find any snack machines in these woods. Fred took off down the trail. Shaggy and Scooby sat down on a fallen log. A rumbling sound filled the air. Here we go, guys. We're seeing the monster. Sure. Is Fred fishing? Fred has a fishing license? This has uprooted my entire perception of Fred. I know, right? Yeah. I guess you would need a license. Yeah. Yeah, I do have questions. Whoops. My chat is frozen over here on my computer. Totally into the survival type stuff. Yeah, I can see it. Oh, please tell me you're not going to kick me off the internet. You wouldn't do that, right? I feel like if Fred didn't have mysteries to solve. Alone in the woods in a cabin built with his bare hands. Yeah, I can see that for sure. I'm trying to make sure before I keep going that I'm not about to get booted. All right. I think we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. Question mark? We're fine. Don't know why this is struggling. The readout up here is just doing things. It's doing things. Swear they have vending machines at campsites. Yeah, they had, when I've been camping, there's been vending machines somewhere at least. Maybe Fred has them at one of those, like, we're just going with, like, a pocket knife, and that's it kind of things. Never seen a vending machine in a campsite. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how, like, touristy the campsite is. But yeah, I think I've seen vending machines. Yeah, I think Fred, I like that Fred recently gets more of a personality. Oh my goodness, computer, what are we doing? Why are we doing? Sorry, guys. I don't think anybody can see, nobody can see, but my computer, like the dashboard of the stream, is just like, nah, I don't want to. And it's like, please. Notice the people are the real monsters. Yeah, really. Hey, Kevin, welcome, by the way. You know why fishing is so not Fred? Like, I could see him with a compact bow more than a fishing pole. Yeah, I have no idea why either. I can't place it, but yeah, I see what you mean. I'm gonna try to monitor this chat from a different tab, maybe? Does this tab want to work? All right, I'm actually seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing on this one, so that's something. I don't know why things are things, but things are things. Whoops. Hang on, guys, sorry. Just happened. Oh my god. Okay. We're back. Okay. Sorry, guys. Took a detour to deal with whatever that was. Okay. Grrr, a rumbling sound filled the air. What was that? Shaggy asked, alarmed. Is it the Bigfoot beast? Scooby smiled sheepishly and pointed to his stomach. I know how you're feeling, Scoob, Shaggy said. I'm so hungry I could eat this log. Just then a delicious smell wafted into their campsite. Shaggy and Scooby sniffed the air. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Scoob? Shaggy asked. Scooby Doo nodded. Let's follow that smell, Shaggy cried. Shaggy and Scooby followed their noses down a trail. The same trail Fred had taken. Soon they saw the stream flowing nearby. Then the trail forked to the right. You guys watch Good Place? Mother forker! They followed the delicious smell and took the fork. Just up ahead, a small cave was set into the side of the hill. A man had a campsite set up in front of the cave. He was... Whoa. Is this Fred from a different universe? This Fred without the Mystery Inc. gang? Sitting on an old lawn chair, cooking hot dogs over a fire. Who's there? The man called out as he heard Shaggy and Scooby approach. Like, we're just some hungry travelers searching for a good meal, Shaggy said. The man eyed them suspiciously. How did you find me? He asked. We followed our noses, right, Scoob? Shaggy said. Right, Scooby replied. If I give you some food, will you leave me alone? The man asked. Shaggy and Scooby nodded. The man pointed to some hot dogs cooking. Oh, they're gonna take all this man's hot dogs. Cooking over hot coals. The hot dogs were attached end to end on one long string. Help yourself, he said. Name's Skinny. Skinny Miller. I'm the caretaker of this campground. Skinny Miller lived up to his name. He was thin, with short gray hair and piercing blue eyes. He's like Jeff. He looks like Jeff. He was tall as Shaggy, but his feet looked small compared to Shaggy's big shoes. Shaggy picked up one end of the hot dog string. Scooby picked up the other. They chomped on the hot dogs until they met in the middle. Fancy meeting you here, Scoob, Shaggy joked. He gulped down the last bite and looked at Skinny. So you're the caretaker. Like, isn't it weird working out here in these spooky woods? This job wouldn't be so bad if the penny-pinching Walden would pay me what I'm worth. Motive. Skinny said. I do all the work around here, and he makes all the profit. Am I empathizing with the potential motive? So, like, why don't you just leave? Shaggy asked. Skinny's face clouded. I could have made a fortune in my family's jewelry business, but my father was a bad businessman. He lost everything, so I'm stuck here. Besides, these woods don't scare me. So I guess that story about the Bigfoot beast is a big lie, Shaggy said. Skinny looked him right in the eyes. Oh no, he said. I've seen the Bigfoot beast. He haunts these woods every night. Well, there's Scooby Doo Which Way books. That makes me so happy. Yeah, so they're not choose your own adventure, but they're like Scooby Doo and you. So basically, you have like the clues. Like this says, we've gotten to a mystery solving tips. Shaggy and Scooby's mystery solving tips. Like, did you see the suspect eyes on page 21? Groovy. Jot down the answers to these questions in your Clue Keeper notebook. Oh my god. Well, Scooby and I go look for a snack. What's the suspect's name? What kind of work does he do? Does he have a reason to keep people away from the campground? I believe so. Rot dogs. Damn rot dogs, yeah. I think Scooby Gang split the bill equally when they go to dinner, or do they force Shaggy and Scooby to pay their $500? I wonder sometimes. Maybe they all just, like, pay for their own, you know? Fred and Daphne. Disaster by my humble opinion. Yeah, you can see it. What happened to the amount of food they've brought? Oh, there. I guess Scooby ate all of it. Lady and the Tramp, I thought of that too. You don't take a man's hot dogs, you forking forker, right? Poor guy. Wasn't I just reading something about Mystery Incorporated and how, I could have sworn he was intentionally coded to be on the spectrum, which I think is really sweet. Little cute and fun book. Thanks for sharing. Oh, no problem. We're on the 7th one of these. We've done 6 previously. 6 comes before 7. And yeah, so I bought like the whole set on eBay and we have like 24 of them. So this is the current thing. I don't know what YouTube is doing right now. Let's start the next poll now that we have all of our suspects. End this poll. We're all just gonna guess Daphne next time because she's literally had 4 in a row, and then it's not gonna be Daphne. Like the streak has to be over eventually. I wonder if like certain ghostwriters for the series had like certain characters that they like to write for specifically. Let's see. And Daphne only got 12% of the vote. We were wrong. I think we'd get Daphne 4 times in a row. Or do we want to go right to our who's the bad guy poll, or should we stop by our what kind of mystery? What kind of mystery? Because we're not going to be able to guess yet. We don't have any of the clues. What kind of mystery do we think it's? I feel like it has to be costume. If they're like, it's a real Bigfoot, I will just throw this book across the room. Costume tech. We haven't, and we didn't, like, I feel like if we were going to get Supernatural, we would have gotten it in the vampire one. And we didn't. So I feel like Supernatural is not going to happen, but maybe it will. No problem, Kevin. Thank you for being here. Rewrite the theme song so that we can all be in it. I like it. Okay, so what was the last guy's name? He goes by Skinny Miller. He really is our Jeff Tucker, isn't he? Suspect 3. That was a very bad, poorly drawn letter K. Skinny Miller. For those just joining, yes, I do take notes like I'm trying to solve it, because I am. Job. Campground. Caretaker. Possible motive. Shitty boss. Oops. Shitty boss. Who among us hasn't wanted to scare the hell out of our shitty boss, you know? Oh, What's New Nancy Drew would also be great. Yes. Now somebody needs to cover that. Not getting paid. Slash revenge slash capitalism. I don't know. I think that guy's got a pretty solid motive, but I don't know. Shaggy's parents. Yeah. Have we never gotten, we must have gotten some iteration where they're all in college together, right? It feels like that can't be true that we haven't gotten one of those yet. I know there's several high school ones, but. All right. Clue Keeper Entry 4. Oh, hang on. Before we get into Clue Keeper Entry 4, I'm going to get my charger, because apparently I cannot rely on the dashboard because it does not want to do its job right now. Okay, 1 second, guys. You're going on chair stream for like 2 seconds. Oh no, not the dreaded share stream. Anything but that. I'm so glad nobody can see the amount of things plugged in over here. It looks like those commercials that have played around Christmas time for like 30 years, where like the little lightning bug is like, unplug stuff, protect yourself from fires. Little teenagers, their supernatural shit only happen when the Zombie Island 2. Oh, I forgot about Zombie Island 2. Chair stream party. Street gun costumes, so I'm betting it's on that again. Yeah, we've had quite a street gun costumes. Technically, the first one was tech, I guess. Yeah, real pterodactyl. What does that land in? I feel like that's tech. I feel like we've already had this conversation. Anyway, okay. Yeah. I just love the What's New Scooby Doo theme song. It's so good. Okay. Clue Keeper Entry 4. Here, since I can't see anything from this, I'm just going to pull up my OBS and keep an eye through here. There we go. That's better. Yes! Noah's a genius. Noah has rewritten the entire theme song to be about Nancy Drew, and now I just want to hear it. Someone needs to cover it. Yeah, we had the Nancy Drew Clue Crew, and then we switched over to the Scooby Doo Clue Crew. I would call it tech because science? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But also it wasn't specifically mechanical, so maybe supernatural via science? Yeah, I didn't prepare myself for the thought of what if it's a real pterodactyl. Wow, that one was sour. Sorry. Why was that one so sour? There was so much sour. Pterodactyl was a lab experiment. I guess it technically was a lab experiment, yeah. Okay. Sorry, getting back on track. Campfire. Look how cute. Later that night, the gang and I were all sitting around the campfire toasting marshmallows. Fred, Velma, and I each had one marshmallow on a stick. Shaggy and Scooby's sticks were filled with marshmallows from top to bottom. I feel like you're going to burn yourself trying to roast a marshmallow that close to the end that you're holding on to. Shaggy told us how Skinny Miller could have made a fortune in the jewelry business, but he was stuck working at the campground instead. But that's not what worried Shaggy. I'm telling you, Skinny said he saw the Bigfoot beast. Shaggy was saying between bites. He said it haunts... He said it haunts... That's how he's doing it. He said it haunts him. It haunts the woods at night. Sorry. That was a bad idea. I almost choked. Like in the Let's Make a Sandwich video. Oh god, that video. Actually, it's actually how voice actors make their characters sound like they're eating. Yeah, I've never really gotten to do any professional voice acting, but I do know that that's a thing. So I was like, this is how I'm picturing it. This is how I'm gonna do it. He says it haunts the woods at night. I bet he was just teasing you, Velma said. I'm sure Mr. Walden's right, and the Bigfoot beast is just a silly story. I wouldn't be surprised if Mindy Podwick made it up. She doesn't want anyone near her fossils. I like that Velma's just salty about Mindy. Shaggy, still looking worried. Wait, Shaggy still looked worried. It's like, that's not the right tense. I don't know. Skinny seemed pretty convinced to me, right, Scoob? Mm-hmm. Scooby replied. What's that, Scoob? Shaggy asked. Scooby pointed to his mouth. Mm-hmm. I think Scooby had one marshmallow too many. He was doing the Chubby Bunny challenge. About 10 years too early. Velma said. His mouth is stuck. She handed Scooby a water bottle. Scooby took a sip. Rat's rudder, Scooby said. Feeling tired, I stood up and yawned. I'm going to get some sleep, I said. Me too, Velma said. She followed me inside our tent. You mean we're really going to stay here overnight? Shaggy asked. What if the Bigfoot beast gets us? Fred put out the campfire. Don't worry, guys. Just get a good night's sleep. I bet you won't even think of the Bigfoot beast in the morning. I'm going to keep saying Bigfoot beast to remind you. He's wearing camo! I haven't picked up on this yet. Has he been wearing camo the entire time? Hey, Fortnite. Welcome. Haven't seen you on stream in a little while. I need to know, has he been wearing camo this whole time? He has. He's been wearing camo. You guys see? I'm shook. Why am I so shook? It was a game called Chewy Gooey. Yeah. Wait, are they calling the Bigfoot beast because it's... Are they calling him Bigfoot beast because it's not Bigfoot, but the ghost of Bigfoot? Oh my god, it's the ghost of Bigfoot. That's what I should have put in the title. Velma, always a skeptic. You gotta have one in the crew. You gotta have one. Okay, I got distracted by Freddy's camo, and now I'm lost. Fred walked into the boys' tent and climbed into his sleeping bag. Shaggy and Scooby rushed after him. Since they hadn't packed any sleeping bags, they tried to get comfortable on the hard ground. Fred fell asleep right away, but Shaggy and Scooby tossed and turned. Scooby's tail smacked into Shaggy's face. Shaggy's feet jabbed into Scooby's back. Like, this is a hopeless cause, Shaggy said. We're never going to get to sleep. Scooby-Doo sighed. Hey, Shaggy, said. I bet Mr. Walden has some comfy beds in that log cabin of his. We should go there. Scooby looked scared. Out where? He pointed out into the dark night. Shaggy reached into Fred's pack and took out a flashlight. We'll be okay, Scoob. Mr. Walden's cabin is right down the road, and besides, I bet there's food in the fridge. Okay, Scooby said. Shaggy and Scooby stepped out of the tent. Shaggy shone the light on a trail. Shaggy and Scooby walked through the dark woods. The flashlight lit the way ahead. On the side of the trail, 2 yellow eyes glowed in the distance. Scooby jumped into Shaggy's arms. I had it right here. Shaggy cried, "It's the Bigfoot beast!" The yellow eyes got closer, then a little raccoon ran in front of the light. Scooby jumped down, looking embarrassed. Like, it was just a little critter, Shaggy said. Shaggy and Scooby marched on. We should have reached the cabin by now, Shaggy said, a little worried. The trail opened up into a clearing. Man, Scoob, it looks like we took the wrong trail, Shaggy said, chuckling nervously. We'll have to go back. Hopefully we don't die. Here we go! Chase sequence. Then Shaggy and Scooby noticed another pair of yellow eyes gleaming in the darkness. It must be another raccoon, Shaggy said. He called out, "Hey, little fella, are you looking for your friend?" Wouldn't it be weird if the raccoon just stood up and was just like, "Yeah, actually, his name's George. I've been looking for..." Yeah, sorry. The yellow eyes got closer. "Here, little guy," Shaggy said. Something jumped in front of the flashlight, but it wasn't a raccoon. It was a tall creature, taller than Shaggy. The beast was covered with long brown fur. It had 2 big hairy feet. Like, it's the Bigfoot beast, for real, Shaggy cried. Arrgh! The Bigfoot beast roared and lunged after Shaggy and Scooby. Shocked, Shaggy... Sorry, the camera is really doing its thing. Hope that's not horribly scarring for anybody to look at. Bigfoot beast roared and lunged after Shaggy and Scooby. Shocked, Shaggy dropped the flashlight. Run for it, Scoob! Shaggy yelled. Shaggy and Scooby tore back down the trail. They ran to the campsite and crashed into Fred's tent. Everybody run! Shaggy yelled. The Bigfoot beast is after us! Keeper entry 5. We don't get any tips because we didn't find any clues. She's usually right. Oh, unlike Agent Scully. Oh. Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. Don't ever cover the second one. Unfortunately, I'll probably cover the second one at some point. Just because of how bad it is, but no time soon. We've got plenty of other things to cover before we get there. At the reverse effect. Instead of making him blend in more, his attention. Yeah, because I feel like even though I'm not seeing, like, these are black and white illustrations, I feel like his camo is not greens. I feel like it's white and blue, like his regular outfit. Now, I'd be a little scared of a raccoon, too. Oh, I love raccoons. We had a period of time last year where a bunch of raccoons we were leaving out, like, dry cat food for the like feral cats and stuff, and raccoons also really like cat food. So we were then feeding the raccoons, and there was one day where I swear there were like 10 or 12 raccoons on the back porch. It was really funny, and I'm sure the neighbors hated us. Clue Keeper entry 5. Fred's tent came crashing down. Shaggy and Scooby got tangled up in the fabric. Fred stepped out of the mess. Velma and I ran out of our tent. Jinkies! Velma cried. See, this writer knows that Velma says Jinkies. What's going on? Shaggy and Scooby tried to get out of the tent, but the fabric covered their eyes. They hopped around trying to get loose. Then they crashed into our tent. That tent collapsed too. Velma pulled the tent off them. What's all this about? Velma asked, yawning. Oh, I'm gonna yawn again. Ugh. Alright, I can feel my mouth getting very dry. Like, there really is a monster in these woods, Scooby said. The Bigfoot beast. We saw him. He chased us down the trail. Scooby put his paws out in front of him and growled like the beast. Shaggy explained how he and Scooby had gone out to look for Mr. Walden's cabin when they found the beast in the clearing. I believe you, Velma said. 2 flashlights appeared in the darkness. Skinny Miller came down the trail. Mr. Walden came down another. Came down one trail, and Mr. Walden came down another. My goodness, Mr. Walden said. Is everything all right? It is now, Mr. Walden, Fred said. But a few minutes ago, Shaggy and Scooby saw the Bigfoot beast. I told you, Skinny said. He haunts these woods at night. I've seen him. He's got beady eyes and red as rubies. That's him, all right, Shaggy said. Didn't they say... Sorry, details. I thought they said the eyes were yellow. Yeah, yellow eyes. They've got yellow eyes. I'm taking that as a clue and not a mess up. That's him, all right, Shaggy said. Mr. Walden glared at Skinny. The worried look returned to his face. Are you sure? Mr. Walden asked. Maybe it was just a deer. Yeah, that's inconsistent. I mean, maybe it's supposed to be a clue. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt until we're sure that it's not supposed to be a clue. Hey, Hannah. Welcome. Caffeine does not do anything to me. I was told by my doctor that it's an ADHD thing, that caffeine basically just helps you focus in because it's a stimulant just like Adderall or any other kind of stimulant you might take for it. So yeah, that was the explanation that I got. Apparently that's a thing. And no, it does not do anything. Shaggy and Scooby shook their heads. Like this was a big, hairy beast. There was nothing dear about it. This is terrible, Mr. Walden said. I can't let people camp here. If there's a beast running loose, I'll have to close the campground. Don't worry, Mr. Walden, Velma said. We'll help you solve the mystery. If we find out what's behind this beast, you can keep the campground open. You kids will really help me, Mr. Walden asked gratefully. You kids would really help me? Mr. Walden asked gratefully, because it was a question mark that I missed. Sure, Fred said. We'll start investigating in the morning. I wouldn't go looking for that beast if I were you, Skinny muttered. It's dangerous. We've seen our share of monsters before, Velma told him. We can handle it. Mr. Walden looked at the mess in their campsite. Why don't you all sleep in my cabin tonight, he suggested. I've got extra beds. Now why didn't we think of that, eh, Scoob? Said Shaggy. Thanks, Mr. Walden, I said. We all followed Mr. Walden to his cabin, and soon we were sound asleep. Were they all like, how many extra beds do they have up there? In the morning, we all headed back to the campsite. Fred started to pick up the tent poles. I'll get this straightened out, Fred said. I'll help, I offered. Velma turned to Shaggy and Scooby. Why don't you show me where you saw the beast, she asked. Nightmares are returned to Zombie Island, not for being scary, just for being bad. Fair. Yeah. Probably the nightmares that I still have about, Santa versus the devil. Miss Redshirt Shaggy, that was a brief moment in time, wasn't it? I used to be so, offended by it. By the idea of Shaggy with a red shirt. Shaggy looked around the campsite. There were 3 trails to choose from. Like, I'm not sure which trail we took, Shaggy said. We ended up in some kind of clearing. That sounds like the trail Daphne and I took yesterday, Velma said. I nodded in agreement. Follow me, Velma instructed. To Shaggy and Scooby. Shaggy and Scooby were a little nervous as they walked down the trail. They expected the Bigfoot beast to crash through the trees at any minute. Soon the trail opened into a clearing. Mindy Podwick was kneeling on a long, flat rock. She looked upset. Did you do this? She asked Velma. Poor Velma. I told you and your friend to stay away from here. What happened? Velma asked. Somebody's been walking all over my Archaeotherium tracks, she said. I can tell because there's footprints everywhere. Velma examined the footprints. Clue keeper, first official clue. They're not very big, Velma remarked. She turned to Shaggy and Scooby. Shaggy, these are too small to be yours, and there are no paw prints, so they can't be Scooby's. They must belong to the Bigfoot beast. Like, for somebody named Bigfoot, he's got really small feet, Shaggy said. I mean, he really doesn't. Look at this. That can't be correct. Look at this. Good point, Velma said. She turned to Mindy Podwick. Are you sure they aren't your own footprints? They're about the same size, Mindy Podwick said, but I would never trample all over my fossils. I know better than that. She eyed Velma. I think, what's his name? Our Jeff Tucker. Didn't they say he had smaller feet than Shaggy? She eyed Velma. What's this about, anyway? Is it that silly beast that Skinny Miller keeps talking about? Sure is, Shaggy said. That hairy horror attacked us last night. Mindy Podwick raised an eyebrow. Really? I thought old Skinny was making it up. I can't say I minded it, though. At least it kept people away from my fossils. Until now. Well, we'll leave you alone now, Velma said, taking the hint that Mindy Podwick didn't want them around anymore. Okay, bye, Mindy muttered distractedly. Velma led Shaggy and Scooby back down the trail. I feel like Velma's just trying to avoid, like, Fred and Daphne are probably making out. She's trying to get away from that. Now this girl's mad at him, so, like, I feel like she's just like, let's go somewhere else. It's Skinny. I feel like it's Skinny. Scooby shivered, remembering the events of the night before. Oh, wait, I skipped something. Velma led Shaggy and Scooby back down the trail. Birds chirped in the trees. Like, these woods aren't so scary when it's sunny out, Shaggy said. I can't believe we saw the Bigfoot beast here last night. Scooby shivered, remembering the events of the night before. After seeing those small footprints, I don't think we have much to worry about, Velma said. Velma's mystery-solving tips. Did you see the flashlight on page 34? That's your first clue. Write down the clue in your clue keeper, then answer these questions. What clue did we find? In the entry, what does the clue tell you about Bigfoot Beast? Which of the suspects could have left this clue? Well, I mean, people need to change clothes even Shaggy. Yeah. I actually think it was a good look for Shaggy. I just remember being a kid and being like, that's not what his shirt looks like. Okay, clue 1, with an honorable mention to what I hope was not a mix-up. What I hope was an actual clue, because if it was an actual clue, it was clever. Clue 1. Small-ish footprints. It tells us that it's not a real Bigfoot, in case anybody was still hoping it was. Sorry. Proves it's a costume case, I think. I think that's what we're supposed to be going off of. Costume case. Points to Skinny. Bonus. If it's not continuity error, Skinny couldn't remember the eye color. Oh boy, doesn't look like a word, but oh well. So who are the main suspects? So let's run the poll. Main suspects, Bigfoot. We need to clear Bigfoot's name. Let's run a poll while I'm thinking about it. Let's hope that I can actually run a poll, because God knows this is not doing its job. All right. Should make the Scooby Doo on Zombie Island and Scooby Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf review video, like a double feature. One video, that would be so cool. It's probably too much for one video, but I could do back-to-back Scooby-Doo videos. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Or even like, you know, like a triple header. You could do the, there's several vampire ones, but like, what's the big one? I'm blanking on its name right now. I see your handwriting is much better than mine, as you'll see at some point. Well, I'm sure you guys will see it up close, because I'm gonna send you guys thank you notes for sending me stuff. But yeah, it's not like it's gotten better over the years, but it's just kind of like big and loopy and kind of hard to read sometimes, so apologies in advance. Poor Bigfoot. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, let's run another poll. So let's see. Who's our bad guy? Let me run another poll. Come on. YouTube is just having trouble, and I don't know why. I don't understand. I've never had this exact... I never have had problem with the dashboard, like, from streaming, and I don't know why. But here we go. Okay. Let's see. Who done it? Ooh, I think... I'm not sure, but I think Natasha and I are going to get to film the next Who Done It installment tomorrow. Very excited for that. Who done it? So what do we have? We haven't even met the other guy, the businessman. They didn't even care to introduce us to him properly. We have Rick Richardson. Resort owner. We have Mindy. How does she spell her last name? Podwick. There you go. I was like, Pogwackle? Wick. The paleontologist. Or I keep wanting to call Skinny Skeet Simpson. Does anybody remember Drew Gooden's video about Mac and Me? Skinny, what is his? Skinny Miller. There we go. I remembered it. Groundskeeper. All right, ask community. Scooby Doo Ghoul School. Yes. I think we were thinking about streaming tomorrow. I'll keep you guys posted. The last time Natasha was here, she streamed, so if Natasha's up for it, I would love to stream, so we'll see. If we have time. About Legend of the Vampire, Music of the Vampire. Yeah, Legend of the Vampire and Music of the Vampire, I get mixed up a lot. Not because they're both about vampires, but like they just have similar names. Who Done It is we watch it right from YouTube. Here, I can even share. Hopefully I'll be allowed to share a link. Since I need a second from reading, and hopefully this will straighten itself out. But let's see. The whole playlist is right here. Right here. There we go. I feel like at some point in the future, once we cover all of them, like, I bet we could, because this is such an old show, I bet we could get away with streaming this, hopefully. I think it'd be fun to try. And then have a backup plan in case we have to ditch out of it, because, you know, getting yeeted off stream. Let's see. Does this actually send? Hopefully. Hopefully you guys can see the link that I just sent. So yeah, hopefully we'll stream something tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do a couple more sips before I start reading again. Popular enough that anyone would care. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking maybe like once in the future, we've got 3 more episodes to cover. Maybe once we like cover all of them and it's like a completed series on the channel, maybe then we can go back and do like a celebratory, like we're watching all the episodes today, and it'll just be like a day. We'll do like a Saturday of just watching whodunit, maybe. I have the DVD. I still have a DVD that I've had for like most of my childhood. That's the first 5 episodes of Scooby Doo on DVD. And I know those 5 episodes like so like I can envision them so clearly. I could probably quote them just to this day because I used to watch those 5 on DVD over and over and over again. On car trips and everything. Well, this seems to be working for right now. I don't know if you guys are seeing any of the issues on your end, but on my end, it's just like not wanting to like keep up with the chat, and I'm just like, that's concerning. Don't know why it's doing that. All right. Where were we? Okay. There we go. Clue Keeper Entry 6. Back at the campsite, Velma told Fred and I about what happened in the clearing, so that we know how it got into the Clue Keeper. But it sounds like someone behind this Bigfoot beast, Fred said. I'd rather be behind it than, like, in front of it, Shaggy said. That's one scary monster. Besides Mindy Podwick, who would want to scare people away from the camp, I asked. Velma thought both the girls are, like, Mindy's shady. Velma thought, how about that man Mr. Walden was arguing with yesterday? Mr. Richardson. The resort owner? If Mr. Walden has to close the campground, Richardson could buy it from him. Good thinking, Fred said. I also think we should talk to Skinny Miller. He seems to be the one who's spreading these stories about Bigfoot Beast. And he doesn't like Mr. Walden much. Maybe he's on to it somehow. I'll go with you, Fred, I said. Scoob and I will go with Velma. Yeah. Fred and Daphne always go everywhere together. He rubbed his stomach. I bet the resort has a 5-star restaurant. Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby Doo, they had the last name Scooby Doo, headed to the resort. When they reached the bottom of the hill, a fancy gate opened into a sprawling green lawn. A white mansion lay at the end of the road. Next to it was a sparkling swimming pool. Velma spotted Mr. Richardson by the pool. They approached him. Mr. Richardson, we're staying at the Walden's campground. We're staying at Mr. Walden's campground, Velma said. We were wondering if we could talk to you for a minute. Certainly, Mr. Richardson said. He led them to a round glass table. Why don't you join me for a snack? A ruby rack? Scooby asked. Like Scoob, I think there will be some fancy resort food at this place. That's even better than a Scooby snack, Shaggy said, licking his lips. He sat down and flagged a waiter. Okay, I guess that's a sentence. We'll have 2 of everything on the menu, please. Nothing for me, thanks, Velma said. Mr. Richardson, we were wondering about your interest in Mr. Walden's campground. I like Velma's little, like, hiking attire. It's so similar to what she usually wears, but she's got pants instead of a skirt and shoes. I know, sensible shoes. Oh, that, Mr. Richardson said. That Henry Walden can be so stubborn. I've offered him a great deal of money. He just won't sell. Is this the guy? He looks like Jeff Bezos. Is anybody seeing a resemblance? This is Jeff Bezos. I know, September has gone by pretty fast. Sorry, I was reading chat for a second. Okay. He just won't sell. I need that land so I can expand this place. Do you want it badly enough to drive Mr. Walden out of business? Velma asked. Goodness, no, Mr. Richardson said. Henry and I have been friends since we were boys. I'm sure my money will convince him in time. Mr. Richardson crossed his legs. Velma studied his shiny black shoes. Those are nice shoes, Mr. Richardson, Velma said. Do you mind if I ask what size they are? Mr. Richardson laughed. They're a size 16. Big feet run in my family. Velma stood up. Come on, guys. I really wanted the Jeff Bezos guy to be guilty. She told Shaggy and Scooby, I think we can go now. The waiter set a covered tray in front of them. In a minute, Velma, Shaggy said. Scooby and I are just about to dig in. Shaggy lifted the lid. He revealed a plate piled high with carrot sticks, celery sticks, and lettuce. Like, what kind of snack is this? Shaggy asked. This is a health resort, young man, Mr. Richardson said. We only serve raw fruits and vegetables here. Thanks, Mr. Richardson, Shaggy said, but Scoob and I will pass on the rabbit chow. As they walked back up the hill to the camp, Shaggy's stomach rumbled. Maybe we should go see if Skinny has any more hot dogs, Shaggy said. I'm hungry, but Shaggy's supposed to be vegetarian or vegan. I can't remember. Vegan, I think. Ree-roo, Scooby agreed. I'm anxious to talk to Skinny Miller myself, Velma said. She walked ahead quietly. She walked ahead quickly. That is a different thing. Sorry. Shaggy sank down on a rock. We'll catch up with you in a minute, Velma, he said. All this back to nature stuff is wearing me out. Scooby sat down next to Shaggy. Oh, here we go. Up ahead, the tree branches rustled. Velma, is that you? Shaggy called out. Ah! The Bigfoot beast crashed through the trees. He waved his hairy arms and stomped his feet. Shaggy cried, and he and Scooby tore up the trail at top speed. They crashed into Velma. Hang on, guys, Velma said. What's wrong? Shaggy stammered. The Bigfoot beast? Velma asked. Scooby nodded. Let's check it out, Velma said. She walked back down the hill. Velma's such a badass. The Bigfoot beast was nowhere in sight, but Velma saw something glittering on the ground. She took out her magnifying glass and knelt down. Then she picked up something very tiny. A chip of a shiny blue stone. Stinky! Velma said. This looks like a sapphire. Fire? Where's the fire? Shaggy asked. I said sapphire, Velma said. It's a valuable gem. Way out, Shaggy said. You mean gems grow on trees in these woods? He worked for... His family runs a jewelry business. It's the guy. It's him. Velma shook her head. Actually, sapphires are usually found in stream beds or gravel pits. She stood up. We've got to find Daphne and Fred, she said. Right, so it's definitely the guy. I'm not going to make the same mistake I did last time of just second-guessing myself because I thought it was too obvious. Sapphire. Yeah, I believe there was something where Casey Kasem was vegetarian and insisted that Shaggy be vegetarian, but then they, like, notoriously made him eat meat as soon as Casey Kasem stopped being the voice, so it's kind of like, alright, guys. What a sapphire is, Shaggy? I have no idea. Poor Shaggy. Nightbot is scary. Sorry, Nightbot is waiting in the wings, but he hasn't yeeted anybody in a couple of days, so that's good. He just has to give the regular, like, don't be a dick reminder, because occasionally somebody comes in and is a dick. And then they get yeeted. Suddenly, so I'm gonna watch the stream with my eyes closed for a bit. Hello, perfectly fine. I think I'm going to bed as soon as this is over. I don't know why I'm so tired. Well, I know I've been like sick and stuff, but I just feel like way more tired than I should be. Nightbot is waiting there menacingly. He's just like in the shadows, like, someone say something about bananas, I swear to God. Someone spam emojis in chat 45,000 times. Did you see the flashlight on page 44? Velma found another clue. Man, I wish Scooby and I had a pizza for every clue she's found. While we're dreaming of pizza, you can answer these questions in your Clue Keeper. But they've had so many pancakes. I don't understand. I think they have a medical condition. What clue did you find in this entry? Where on the campground do you think the clue could have come from? Does the clue give a new reason for someone to scare people away from the campground? Does the clue... Oh, I bet you anything, because Mr. Dude, the dude that we all think is guilty anyway, she said it was found in, like, rocky areas, right? So, like, I bet you anything, Skinny having a background in gemstones and stuff, I bet you he found some, like, sapphires back here, and that's why he's scaring everybody off. Evil Nightbot. I like to think of Nightbot as a little, as like a little Avenger just waiting to keep the peace. Yeah, so Skinny would know the most about gemstones. And probably found whoops, them in the cave, right? Again, last time we read one of these, it was so obvious that it was one guy that I was like, I think it's the other person. I think they're going to throw us for a loop. And then I should have just not second-guessed myself, so I'm not doing that this time. I'm sticking with Skinny. All right, let's see. YouTube, are you better at doing your job now? Let's see. There we go. Nope, still frozen. At least we're still streaming. At least I haven't been kicked off yet. That's good. All right. Let's go back to... Sorry, it's probably jarring to be able to see a little bit of the of this down here of the screen, but I'm not sure how to get it completely out of the way. Favorite Sour Patch color? Mine is between blue and red. Mine is between blue and red, too. Blue and reds are my favorite. They're all good, but blue and reds are my very favorite. For a made-up flavor, blue raspberry is great. I'm not even sure what the red ones are supposed to be, but they're also great. Now, with Starburst, I have a really unpopular opinion because I love lemon Starburst. And I don't like the pink strawberry ones. I like the red ones, and I like the yellow ones. And honestly, the orange ones aren't bad either. You notice that this book, there's usually like another little thing down here, and they haven't been doing that on this one. Fruit Punch Starbursts are always also really nice. Yes, they are. Hey, Amanda! Amanda, you'd be so proud of me. I finally managed to find the last of the original, like, 62 Goosebumps for my collection. I was so happy. I was like, I never thought this day would come. That is supposed to be strawberry, I think, or maybe fruit punch. Oh my gosh, yes. Wait, I thought the pink ones were strawberry. And the red one, wait, no, but then what would the red ones be? I'm not even sure. But whatever the red ones are good, and whatever the pink ones are not my favorite. Yeah, like, obviously I have more in the collection than just the original 62, and obviously I don't own, like, all of them. That's a long, long, long way in the future. But yeah, I haven't gotten them yet. They're being shipped, but I found the last ones that I thought I would never find. Online pat on the back. Thank you. This has been my victory of this week. Be so happy. I think once they all get in, I'm going to do a video where I, like, try to read all of them in, like, a short amount of time, and then after that happens, then I think that's how I'm gonna announce to everybody that we're gonna officially start reading through them on stream. That's my plan anyway. It makes me so happy. Thank you, Amanda Bear. I'm not the super collector that you are with all of them, but I do have the original 62, so that is something that makes me very, very happy. All right. Especially since those last 3 are so rare, I did not think I'd be able to find them for a reasonable price, and I managed to somehow, and I have no idea how. Clue Keeper Entry 7. Like a good idea to me. I think that would be fun. Also keep floating this idea of doing longer form, almost documentary style videos where we dig into, like, a fandom surrounding a thing. And the through line is, like, as we're watching, like, through all the episodes, but not obviously not covering every episode, just, like, covering the fandom, so that we can go back and cover the individual episodes later. But Goosebumps is also up there with, like, I would love to do a video like that on Goosebumps. I just think it would be great. An impressive collection. Collecting all 62 original books is no easy feat. Yeah, it took a lot of research, but I found it. I was very proud of myself. It'll be nice to start reading them on stream. Okay, well, Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby Doo hiked back up the hill. Fred and I were looking for Skinny Miller. We found the stream and the cave next to Skinny's campsite. The campfire was out. His shabby lawn chair was empty. Fred called into the tent, but no one answered. I wonder where Mr. Miller is, I asked. I put my hand on Mr. Miller's chair and noticed something odd. Fred, look at this, I said. I picked up a book from the seat of the chair. It's a directory of gem dealers, people who buy and sell valuable stones. I wonder what Skinny's doing with this. Yeah, they could be more obvious. They're just, like, being real heavy-handed. Let's start a fandom for Beyond Belief. Beyond Belief has a fandom. It's not one of the more well-known fandoms, but there's definitely a group of people that love it, so that's a fandom. I count it. I'm not sure, Fred said. Shaggy said he used to be in the jewelry business. Maybe he's trying to get back in. I wish we could ask him about it, I said. We'll have to see if Mr. Walden knows where to find him, Fred replied. It's too bad he's not around, I said, walking toward the stream. It's so pretty here, I said, looking at the water. I looked closer. That's strange, I said. The bottom of the stream bed looks kind of sparkly. What are you kids doing here? An angry voice cried. Fred and I spun around. Skinny Miller was coming out of the cave with a scowl on his face. His gray hair stuck out on top of his head. Sorry, Mr. Miller, Fred said. We're trying to help Mr. Walden solve the Bigfoot beast mystery. There's no mystery, Miller said. The beast roams these woods, just like I told your friends. Mr. Walden might have to close this campground, I said. Then you'd be out of a job, Mr. Miller shrugged. I don't get paid near enough anyway. I'd survive. Aren't you afraid of the beast will come after you? Fred asked. Nope, Skinny said. The beast won't bother me. Why not? I asked. Because unlike you kids, I know how to keep my nose out of places where it don't belong. He didn't say don't belong, but I feel like Skinny would have said it like that, but he said where it doesn't belong, so I'm incorrect. Fred and I left Skinny's campsite and walked back to our camp. Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby were there waiting for us. We all exchanged stories. Velma told us about the meeting with Mr. Richardson and the sapphire they found in the woods. Fred told them about the book of gem dealers that Skinny had. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Velma asked. Fred nodded. It's time to set up a trap for the Bigfoot beast. Freddy with his trap. Fred and Daphne. So is there any point in guessing anymore? It's definitely Skinny, right? Unless they're like really pulling a red herring. Like really, really pulling a red herring. And I'm not falling for that one 2 nights in a row. Clue 3. Gem book. Because Skinny is either guilty or a huge red herring. I think everybody's in agreement with me on that, right, guys? It's already 9:14. Wow. I like that these books are just like the perfect little size thing to read on stream. Red herring. His name's Skinny, so guilty. Automatically guilty. Whoop, I almost spoiled myself. I don't think I could at this point. I think I definitely know, but I didn't, so it's fine. Daphne and I found an important clue in this entry. This is Fred and Daphne's mystery solving tips, and Fred actually gets to speak. Make sure you answer all the questions about it. What clue did you find in this entry? What is the clue? Who does the clue belong to? How does this clue connect to the clue Velma found in the last entry? Clue Keeper entry 8. I'm going to take a sip of drink first. Yeah, Ellery's like, how do you not know what a sapphire is? I don't know. This Shaggy is like done with his formal education pretty much. How does he not know? Was he that high in class? Maybe. Happening? Hang on. Making sure that I'm not missing like important information. And I've lost it. Okay. Ooh, and don't forget, Monday we're starting our Kingdom Hearts series, which is going to last us forever, but that'll be fun with Maddie. And yes, smoking too much weed will affect your brain. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just, you know, was cutting class with Scoob to smoke and eat snacks. As you do. It didn't take the gang and I long to come up with a plan. To make it work, we needed Shaggy and Scooby to lure the Bigfoot beast out of the woods. Scooby. He was either that high in class or so high in this moment that he has no idea what's happening. Yeah. Either are equally plausible. Fred handed Shaggy his fishing pole. Like, do you expect us to fish for the monster? Shaggy asked. We're looking for the Bigfoot beast, not the Bigfoot flounder. I'm gonna ignore his bad joke and just say I feel like the southernness in my accent is coming out because it happens when I'm tired and stressed, which is most of the time. But right now I'm just tired, not stressed, and I just feel like it's slipping very much. So sorry about that. Want to see Kingdom Hearts? Go to Scooby Doo World. Yes, I do. I mean, in theory, it's always possible. No. I summoned the dreaded assistant. We need to find an excuse for you and Scooby to go near the stream, Velma said. If my hunch is right, the beast won't want you to go anywhere near there. Right, Fred said. He held up a flashlight. Wait, he did not hold up a flashlight. He held up a fishing net. Apologies. When the beast comes after you, we'll be hiding in the trees with Mr. Walden. We'll trap the beast in this. What do you mean? When the beast comes after us, Shaggy said. What if it gets us and eats us for supper? Scooby didn't like that idea. He crawled into Velma's sleeping bag. Come on out, Scooby, I said. We'll be right there to protect you. Scooby said. Would you do it for a Scooby snack? I asked. Scooby said. How about 3 Scooby snacks? Daphne said. Ooh, she raised Velma on her 2 Scooby snacks. And a big stack of pancakes when this trip is over. Oh, that must be why we're at Dinah's Diner. I might need to check. I feel like we've already been at Dinah's, but that could just be me. Okay, Scooby said. He popped his head out of the sleeping bag. It didn't take us long to set up the trap. Luckily, the woods were deserted. We didn't see Skinny Miller or Mindy Podwick anywhere. Shaggy and Scooby-Doo sat down on the stream bank. Shaggy cast the fishing line into the water. Like, Scoob and I are sure having fun fishing in this stream, Shaggy said in a loud voice. He reeled in the line. Hey, look, I caught something. Sticking into the end of a hook was a hunk of sparkling blue stone. How? How? That's not how that works. Wow, look at this, Shaggy cried. It's just like the one Velma found this morning. Ah! Gee, Scoob, Shaggy said. You sure sound excited. Shaggy turned and looked at Scooby, but Scooby wasn't saying anything. Scooby had his back turned to the stream. He was pointing in front of him with a terrified look on his face. Shaggy turned around. The Bigfoot beast was standing right over them. He doesn't know what he sounds like at this point? That's interesting. Ah! The beast roared. His beady red eyes glared. Yeah, they are red eyes. Wait, no, that is an inconsistency, because they said yellow and then they said red. I'm so confused. Glared at Shaggy and Scooby. He stomped his big, hairy feet. You poor Shaggy. Let's get out of here, Scoob! Shaggy yelled, dropping the fishing pole. They both stood up, but the ground underneath their feet was soft and slippery. With a splash, they both fell into the stream. Bigfoot Beast followed them into the stream. Shaggy and Scooby ran out, covered with water and mud. They tripped over their feet as they ran, falling into a pile of leaves. Shaggy and Scooby ran into the woods. The Bigfoot Beast wasn't far behind. Then suddenly, a net fell over Shaggy and Scooby. Gotcha! A voice cried. Fred and Mr. Walden jumped out from behind the tree. Fred's face fell when he saw who was in the net. Shaggy and Scooby, Fred said, we thought you were the Bigfoot Beasts. The mud and leaves makes you look like a monster. Ouch. Never mind that now, I said. The real beast is getting away. The Bigfoot Beast was running down the trail toward the cave near Skinny Miller's campsite. Don't worry, Velma said. She came running through the woods carrying a fishing pole. Go, Velma! Another writer hung out with Shaggy. Yeah, I think it's customary at this point. Velma cast the fishing line. I just love, like, superhero Velma. The line flew through the air, and the hook caught in the Bigfoot Beast's fur. The beast stopped in its tracks. Wow, Velma rocks. Fred and I ran up to help Velma. Together we reeled in the beast. The creature roared as he was dragged backwards along the trail. Shaggy and Scooby untangled themselves from the net. Mr. Walden joined the gang and me, and soon we had the Bigfoot Beast surrounded. Like, there's something fishy about this beast, Shaggy said. You can say that again, Velma said. She turned to Mr. Walden. Would you like to see who's been trying to scare people away from your campground? You bet I would, Mr. Walden said. He grabbed the fistful of the Bigfoot Beast's hair and pulled off his fake head. Back at Dinah's Diner. More pancakes, please, Shaggy calls to the waitress. You look up from reading the gang's clue keeper. That was quite a case, wasn't it? Daphne says. You've met the suspects, you found the clues. Do you want to try to solve the mystery? You nod your head. I knew you could do it, Velma said. Let us give you some advice before you start. Look at your list of suspects and clues, and answer these questions. First, who had a reason to scare people away from the campground? Fred asked. Second, which of the suspects could have left the clues that the Bigfoot beast left? Daphne asks. See if you can eliminate any of the suspects first, Velma says. Whoever is left is probably the person pretending to be the Bigfoot beast. The waitress brings 2 new stacks of pancakes to the table. The stacks are so high that they cover Shaggy and Scooby's faces, higher than Shaggy, and that's a lot. Why don't you try to solve the mystery while Scooby and Shaggy work on those pancakes, Velma says. That won't take long, Shaggy says. When you're done, we'll tell you who did it, Fred says. It's your last chance to guess who's behind the Bigfoot scare. When you're ready with your answer, turn the page to find out who did it. We're all in agreement, right? It's definitely Skinny. We all suspect Skinny. Does anybody not suspect Skinny? If it's not Skinny, I'm gonna be just so confused. Come on, YouTube. I swear to God. Hang on, guys. I think we're having technical issues, but at least I can see everybody's comments over here. I suspect the resort owner. I don't think it's the resort owner just because we know that he has, like, giant feet, and they made a point to say that the footprints were so small. I voted for Skinny, though. I'm also leaning towards Rick just in case. It was Scrappy, obviously. Oh, damn it, Scrappy. I may have guessed wrong again. I mean, I was so mad when I guessed wrong on the last one, because I was like, it's just so obviously this guy, it can't be that guy, and it was that guy, and I was like, damn it. The children's book got me. Got me in my head. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to figure out why. No, I can't lose a connection over here, too. Oh no, it's live action Scooby all over again. Those will have to be videos at some point. Oh God, please don't kick me off the internet. Did some of the chat get the villain right in the previous book? That was... Yeah, I think the majority of the chat got it right. I basically was trying to go for, like, I was, like, going for the this has to be a red herring because it's so obvious thing. It's a lot like this one where it's very much pointing to Skinny. And so I was like, I'm just gonna say the other one because I really thought that they were, like, trying to pull a red herring because, like, the clues technically could have, matched up with the other suspect. So yeah. Come on, YouTube. YouTube! Supposed to be the yelling at YouTube stream, but here we are. I've never seen YouTube struggle in this particular way. I've seen YouTube mess up a lot of stuff, but not this specifically, so I'm confused. Yep, you can still... I feel like... I feel like we can definitely say that we conquered that case as a team. I'm in favor of yelling at a YouTube stream. Yeah, yelling at YouTube stream. Yeah, I mean, they kind of deserve it sometimes. I love when they send in the, I mean, I love YouTube, but, like, they recently sent out this survey that was, like, good at... It was a bunch of questions, but there was one question that was basically, like, how good at diversity do you think YouTube is? And I was like, not good. Even seeing what's been happening on the platform, not great. Yeah. YouTube isn't the best. It's just kind of the best we got, you know? Hmm. God. You guys are still hearing me, right? I'm so confused as to how I'm not like connecting to the dash, but I'm connecting to the stream enough to be streaming. I mean, I'm glad, but I'm so confused as to what the actual problem is. We hear you. I can hear you. Okay, that's good. It's just like I'm just stuck in like perpetual loading hell, and I'm just like I feel like it makes me think that I'm getting kicked off the internet, but I'm obviously not. I just can't see like sorry guys, give me 1 second. Suspenseful pause while we try to figure this out. Oh yeah, while I'm giving that a second, let's also look at this. I want to know. We were at the peanut butter place that time, so it's not in this one. But we were at Dinah's at some point, right? Not this one. This is Lola's crab house. I was like, is it a crab house or? Suspense is killing me. Restart laptop after stream. Yeah, after we get off stream, I'm definitely gonna have to restart. This is Jake's place. Just obviously don't want to do it now. The Noodle House. Mondo's Munchateria. Nope. Bob and Larry's Ice Cream Shop. So, yep, this is really the first place that I swear, Dinah's sounds so familiar. Maybe I'm just remembering this book from childhood. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Nightbot, I know. We all know. We're fine. Could you contact YouTube for me, though, Nightbot? Okay. YouTube is loading in. It's just like when you get to the, like, loading, like when you get to the dashboard for live streaming, that's when it's like, oh, I don't remember how I'm supposed to do my job. I think I must have taken banana off the banned words list because I was afraid somebody who wasn't in on the joke would come in and get, oh, nope, Paul got timed out. Somebody was using the word banana the other day. You only got timed out for 5 seconds though, Paul, so you're good. I really thought I had taken that off the list because we were using banana the other night. That was weird. All right, let's just go ahead since you guys can see me. Well, Nightbot still works. Oh yeah. Post the live after we're done. Missed the beginning. Yeah, all of the lives, like literally every live I've ever done, is available on the homepage of the channel. If you scroll down, it's like popular uploads, all videos, like a master list, and then it's like the decades thing, and then it's the live stream. So it's like I just have them set up to go unlisted, but straight to that playlist, so it doesn't like clog up the main videos page with a bunch of live streams if like some people don't like it. But yes, they're always on the homepage, so you can always find them there. Yeah, I guess it is still banned. I wonder why it wasn't kicking people off the other night. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't, but like, you know, I really thought I must have just taken it off because it just wasn't kicking anybody off. Okay. Let's see. The stream might be me trying to fix the stream in a second after we finish this book. Problem. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Elena Oliver? I hope I'm saying your name right. Welcome. I love seeing people that I haven't seen in chat. Why, but I suddenly want to rewatch your video. Disembodied voice of a female. Wait. The 1950s habit patterns video with Natasha. That one's wild. I still think about that sometimes. I'm just like, damn, poor Barbara. Barbara got done dirty. If nobody's seen that video, it's a 1950s instructional video that they obviously like aired in high schools. And it's just showing this girl who's just like late for school. Her hair is messy, which like 1950s hair messy looks better than my hair has ever looked. And like the like this unseen narrator just roasts this teenager for just not having her life together. And it's just like, oh my God, poor Barbara. Natasha and I still are just like, I feel like I'm having a Barbara day today. Hang on. So confused. Okay, let me just read the end of this. We already saw this. All right, so let's turn this page. Yep. It was Skinny Miller, the caretaker, Fred says. Our first clue was the footprints, Daphne says. The fact that they were small meant that we were dealing with a real person in a costume, not a monster with giant feet. Mr. Richardson's feet were too big, Velma says, and I believed Mindy Podwick when she said she wouldn't trample her fossils. She cared about them too much. That left Skinny Miller, Fred says. That left the question. Why? Velma says. We knew Skinny complained about not having... Voted right again. Yay! About not having any money, but closing the campground wouldn't help him. I mean, I guess he did kind of... He was just like... He wasn't getting paid a fair amount, but Velma was like, this guy was broke. We started to figure it out when Velma found the sapphire, Daphne says. Then I noticed something sparkling in the stream bed near Skinny's campsite, and we found Skinny's book of gem dealers. We knew that Skinny knew something about gems and jewels, Velma adds. He told us his family used to be in the jewelry business, and he said the Bigfoot beast's eyes looked like rubies. Oh, that's what that was supposed to mean? I mean, anybody could have said that. I would have said that. We figured that Skinny had discovered the sapphires in the stream bed, Fred says. Instead of going to Mr. Walden, he decided to scare people away from the camp. That way, he could harvest the sapphires, sell them, and keep the money for himself. They really belonged to Mr. Walden. Velma explains. Oh my God. He's going to use the money to keep the campground going. Wait. He's like, how about we camp out in this diner? Shaggy suggested. That's a typo. He's like, that's a typo. Okay, interesting. Anyway. Shaggy suggests no trees, lots of good food, and no monsters. Right, Scoob? Oh, Scooby. Even going... Wait, I'm so confused. Right, Scoob? I am confused. And confused I will always be. Oh, this is what happened. Okay, so here's what happened. Here's how badly they fucked this up. I am smarter than an 8-year-old. Yay! Oh my gosh, it was Skinny. Yep, it was Skinny. Okay, so here's what happened. Do you see how this says he's, and then it goes right into quoting Shaggy? Like, how about we camp out in this diner? The next line starts with, even going to help Mindy. So this he's is supposed to be here. And somehow they didn't get that. No one was proofing this. That way he could harvest the organs. I mean, sapphires. Yes, sapphires. Sapphires. In the like adult version of this book, it's organs. What's crime? What's the actual crime that these people commit? Like, just being an ass? Like, what's the actual crime? A lot of times they're stealing stuff, but like for Skinny, what's his actual like on the books crime? He's even going to help Mindy Podwick study the fossils in peace. Mr. Waldman's really a happy camper now, right, Scoob? Shaggy asks. Scooby gulps down the last pancake. Right. Fred turns to you. So how did you do? Fred asks. I bet you did great, Daphne says, and don't worry if you didn't. Solving mysteries can be pretty challenging. That's why it takes all of us working together to solve our mysteries. Scooby Doo nods his head. Ruby, Ruby, Roo! And that's the end. Oh my gosh. I'm not over it. This is out of all the typos that we found 2 really big ones, but this one, the he's being in the wrong place has taken me out. I'm shook. Been rereading a good series that has more of a detective side called Skullduggery. I've heard of that. Pleasant. A living skeleton being a detective. Has a magic fire from his hands. Aw, I want to look into that. I've heard about it, but I haven't actually read it. I feel like we need to start like a Goodreads for this, for the stream so that we can keep track of all the books we've read on stream. These books don't have editors. I think you're right. I'm kind of shocked. Or the editor just took a real big hit off of whatever Shaggy's been smoking. I don't know. I recommended It's a great series. That's cute. I like that. It's gonna be interesting shutting down this stream when I literally cannot get to my controls. That's... yeah. Hang on, you guys. Don't go anywhere. I think I'm gonna have to just power down and come back. So this might go dark for a second. They're just published first drafts, yes. Hang on. I will be right back, you guys. Sorry about this.